Hello and welcome to this edition of Eat Right with Rouses. I'm your host, Keith Weissite, licensed clinical social worker with Chapel Home Care. Very glad you're joining us. However, you may be joining us, we appreciate it. And speaking of joining us, we're always glad to have our favorite dietitian, April Sins with Rouses. Hi, April.
Hello, Keith. How are you today?
I am very well, and I'm really looking forward to how I'm going to get even hungrier after watching this recipe.
Well, Keith, if you had smell-o-vision right now, you would really be hungry because it smells really good in my kitchen.
I had a feeling it did. Reading
Yes,
it made me
yes.
hungry, so I can't imagine what smelling it would be like.
Right. We're making some walnut apple crisp today, and it's a really delicious recipe. And I'll tell you where this kind of came from is I actually had a couple of customers on a Zoom class. So sometimes we'll do some Zoom virtual classes. And if you want to find out about how to get on those, you can email me at eatright@rouses.com.
Okay.
But I had a couple of customers requesting, hey, how about some light dessert items that we can make for the holidays? And so that's where the walnut apple crisp came from, is because this is a really great way to have a fruit, and you also have some nuts in there from the walnuts, but then it also has some oats. So it's a really nice combination of ingredients that all have their individual health benefits. And so I'm going to show you how to make that right here. So I have two apples. This looks like so much, but this is just two apples sliced up from Rouse's. And
Okay.
I put some lemon juice. So you're going to take a lemon and just squeeze that right on top of there. You can also use your bottle of lemon juice if you want to. And what we're going to do is we're going to add in some cinnamon. So in we're going to add some cinnamon inside of the apples. You can
Okay.
also add some more cinnamon if you want inside of the topping. So
Okay.
basically, we're making a base, and we're going to add a little bit of oil. I'm choosing to add some olive oil. I
Okay.
love the Rouse's olive oil. A lot of people don't realize that it's not just for cooking in a pan. It's not just for coating vegetables. You can also bake with it if you want to. So
Okay.
it's a really nice light oil that also has some really great um, health attributes to it. Another thing too is going to be some maple syrup. Rouse's
Ooh.
has a great maple syrup,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a really, you can see half of it's gone because I've been baking with it.
Mm.
But maple syrup is really great. You mix these two ingredients around, and what you're going to do is you're going to add this to a casserole dish, and then you're going to make a topping for it. Now,
Okay.
what I love about the apples is it adds a nice sweet flavor,
Mm-hmm.
but I leave the skin of my apples, Keith, because that's going
Oh.
to add some nice fiber in there. And I love to have the whole fruit if I can.
Right. Right.
And so if you're not a big fan of the apple skin and you want to cut that off, you can. But if you slice your apple pretty thin, that skin is going to get really soft enough to be able to use.
Good.
Now, what we're going to do is we're going to make a topping. Okay.
Okay.
Now it's called a walnut apple crisp. So I have some walnuts that are chopped up,
Chopped walnuts. Okay.
and yes, and you could use between a half cup to a cup of the walnuts chopped up, and then I have about a half a cup of oats right here, some
Ooh.
whole oats. And what I love about that is those whole oats is going to add a nice fiber. It's a
Mm-hmm.
whole grain, and I also have some oat flour. Now I bought the oat flour, but if you have a great food processor that can grind up the oats, you can also do that. Or you can just leave the oat flour out if you want to, but your topping will be just a little bit more crumbly if it doesn't have that flour in there. And then I'm going to add some more cinnamon, which
Okay.
also adds a great fall flavor to it. And then a little bit of either brown sugar or coconut sugar.
Okay.
And so I have that, or you can use your sugar alternative if you want to keep it even lower calorie and lower sugar. You mix this together and you're going to put this topping on top of here.
Okay.
You can also add some more oil, a little bit of olive oil in there, to kind of give it a little bit more of a coating. And you also can add just a little bit of melted butter on the top, and
Oh. Okay.
then you bake it at 350. It takes about a half an hour. I'm gonna show you how it turned out, Keith, because by the miracle of television,
Uh-huh. I
I
know
happen
it.
to have one done already to
Oh
make you
my
hungry.
goodness. Look at that.
But look,
Oh,
you
and
can see how those
look at the
apples.
apples, how well they just kind of
Yeah.
bake down
Yes,
and kind
they're
of
nice
measuring.
and
Mm.
soft. Yes, they're nice and soft. and you could definitely, some people like to put ice cream with their crisp, but this Rouse's whipped topping is you can just put a little bit. It gives you that nice sweet flavor with it, and it's not like going overboard with with being too much, because
Right.
we wanted to keep this as a light dessert.
Right.
So this is a super super delicious way to sort of have something that's nice and light. It goes great even if you wanted to have this with your coffee in the afternoon or something like that. This is a really nice light little snack dessert.
That is absolutely perfect. I mean,
Yes.
just think about it. You know, it's simple enough. Two apples go a long way. You know, like you
Yeah.
said, leaving the skins on, make sure that they bring up
Hmm.
the enough fiber in there. The walnuts with some fiber, the oats with some fiber, just
Yeah.
perfect.
You can see it's still warm too. This is really great. This is also kid friendly. My son came home the other day. I had this made. He gobbled it right up. He was like, "Where is some more? I want more."
Wow.
So it's a really delicious dessert for the family. I think it pairs well with a lot of our Thanksgiving and Christmas and all those festivities as a great side dessert to go along with your other dishes.
We appreciate you making us hungry as always.
Thank you so much, Keith.
All right. And that will do it for this particular segment of Eat Right with Rouses. You can always look that up and you can go and find that website as well. We thank you for joining us. We've got a whole lot more coming right here on HTV.